Hey everyone, this is GoodfellowCigars.com, and we're here today at the Golden Leaf in St. Paul, Minnesota, at the brand new Marco V Lounge, with none other than Marc Keiser himself, founder and owner of Marco V Cigars.
Absolutely.
Glad to have you here today, Marc.
Appreciate you guys having me.
Yeah.
Thanks for stopping by.
To start off, tell us who is Marc Keiser and Marco V Cigars for the people out there watching right now that may not know much about you or your company.
Yeah, it's. I'll give you a little bit of background on the business. Essentially, we founded in 2009, but the business plan was written at the University of St. Thomas, and it was in that program where we learned how to write the business plan, but it was also to put together components of the business. And after that, it took about 4 years, and we developed the blends and launched in 2009. Now we're sitting at about 140 retail locations nationally carrying our product. Just launched our first Marco V Cigar Lounge, and have also some complimentary products as well.
What really inspired you to create your own cigar company?
Marco V is essentially established on three basic components. The first one is rooted in the passion for cigars, like I have, like you guys have as well. I can remember as a little kid reading the industry trade magazines even before I was smoking cigars. Fascinated with the art, the culture, and it was even then I knew it was more than just getting a buzz or blowing your head off with a super strong cigar. It was more about sitting around kind of like we're doing right now and the community of cigar smoking.
Definitely.
So then when I started smoking cigars, I kind of knew what cigar I liked, and which brought us to the second element, and that is trying to find a cigar that I like to smoke in a shop like the one we're sitting in here today. As you know, in Minnesota, along with other states, we're very tax abused. And so I wanted to go into a cigar shop, find a high quality cigar that I could sit down, smoke for an hour and a half, and also give my money to small business owners as well. Unfortunately, I could not find that cigar at a price that I thought was reasonable. The cigar I liked was the 60 ring gauge cigars that had some power and some strength to it, and the price in the retail location with the taxes was not what I thought it should be. And so I did what a lot of cigar smokers do and then went to buying online, and what I found is the quality couldn't be guaranteed. One out of every 3 cigars that I'd smoke would blow up on me, or else I'd get a big canoe. And so what I wanted was to go into a shop, sit down for about an hour, smoke the cigar, and patronize these small businesses. And the third element was the deep-seated passion for entrepreneurship. So I went to school as an entrepreneur. I went to school to learn how to write a business plan. I always knew I wanted to write a business. And so it was with those 3 elements that Marco V came together. So wrote the business plan at the University of St. Thomas, and we launched Marco V and brought a affordable large gauge cigar to the shops.
Very nice. You own a small company, Marco V. So being a small company, does that put any limitations on what you can do, or does being a boutique actually advantage you in some way?
There's positives and negatives to owning a small business. First, with some of the challenges. As you know, the cigar industry is saturated with a lot of really good cigars, a lot of really big cigar companies. And with those big cigar companies come huge sales forces, huge big distribution networks, and also big marketing budgets. Unfortunately, we're not there yet as a small business. Another advantage afforded to them is they're able to put reps in certain locations that can sit down with the retailers, smoke a cigar, and really tell them about the product. Where we've only been able to do that in the Minnesota area with just the size of our business. But one of the strategies that we wanted to embrace was the boutique strategy that you were talking about, and deploy a word-of-mouth strategy. So put the cigar in the cigar smoker's hand and let the cigar speak for itself. But there are advantages of being a small company as well, a boutique cigars company. Our factory in the Dominican Republic only has 15 rollers. All of our rollers have at least 15 plus years of experience, so we're able to guarantee the draw and the burn on every single cigar that leaves the factory, which means we are looking at every single cigar before it actually leaves the factory. So hopefully you get a nice burn on these cigars as well.
Excellent.
With that, we're also able to hand pick specific bales when we go to purchase our tobacco as well. We can go in and make sure that the bale is completely free of defects, free of anything. Say we want that bale in this huge pile of bales. Where big companies will buy up as much tobacco as they can. Another thing is the big factories have 300 rollers. Compare that to our 15 rollers. So you may have a guy that started rolling cigars yesterday rolling the cigar you just paid $15 for. With every time you pick up a Marco V, you'll know that someone who had 15 plus years of experience was rolling that cigar. Another big thing is it's a lot of the cigar industry is built on relationships. We're really lucky to have good relationships with some of the best tobacco processes out there. So we feel like we're putting the best tobacco that we can find into our cigars and combining it with the really experienced cigar rollers.
All right. You already sort of touched on this, but the core principles that your company is built on.
Right. The core principles of Marco V is a lot like a lot of other small businesses, but for us it's very simple, and we put it right on our website in the form of a credo. But essentially, from a high-level summary, it's quality in everything you do. So everything you pursue, everything you do, make sure you put the highest quality product out there. I would never want the M or what we call the Marc on any product that isn't what we deem as the highest quality. So quality in anything you do. The second thing is value in what you're buying. So we want everybody who smokes a Marco V, after they're done smoking, to say, hey, you know, that was the right price for this cigar. It was a really good cigar, or it's a really good bottle of port, or it's one of the best cups of coffee that I've ever had. So value in what you're buying. And then the third thing is standing up for what's wrong. So we're a huge believer in handmade products. So we're not a huge fan of mass manufacturing or huge governments. We're standing up against a huge government as well, as the cigar industry is incredibly taxed. So we're trying to empower also small business owners as well by giving them a product that works for them as well. And the last thing, the core principle, is celebrating any successes, whether big or small. Celebrating just being able to sit down with you guys today, or celebrating being able to walk to my car, or celebrating a huge sale that we make with Marco V. So the big thing with cigar smoking is about celebrating every day. So that's the core principles of Marco V.
Oh, good to know. You also went over what kind of cigars you really like. Many other people may not know too. You have your own wine and coffee line. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Right. When I started smoking cigars, I knew I liked the large gauge cigars. None of us are smoking any of those right now. But when we launched, we just had the 3 blends of the 60 ring gauge cigars. That's now evolved into pretty much a full cigar line. But it took us a while to develop those blends. And those were inspired off, I was a huge fan of the Lugion. I was a huge fan of Hoya de Nicaragua, the strength and the boutique nature of the Lugion, and the other boutiques as well. But and we had those in mind when we were developing our cigars as well. When we launched the cigar company, we wanted to be more than just a cigar company. We wanted to be an experience brand, and what I mean by that, again, it's not about sitting down and getting your nicotine fix or your buzz. It's about how can you enhance sitting down with a cigar. And so what we did is we invented or brought a new product to the market called the Vintage Porto 2007, which is essentially an American port that was made specifically to accompany our Platinum Grand Reserve cigar. So the guy who we sat down and developed with for a long time was trained in UC Davis, studied winemaking, studied out in Europe how to make wine, and then brought his expertise to the Chateau St. Croix winery, which is a huge castle in western Wisconsin, and he only uses the highest quality grapes and from California. So we're using, again, the most premium grapes, and we were able to, his favorite cigar is the Platinum Grand Reserve cigar, so he was able to create a port that's specifically matched with our cigar, and right now it almost drinks as like a really sweet cognac, so it's a really nice cigar. The second product that you mentioned is the coffee, the Marco V Dom Cafe, and that is a 5-origin coffee that John, our national sales manager, sat down with the roaster for 6 months cupping coffee until we got the perfect blend. So we're not talking about private label products at all. We're talking about products that we that have our blood, sweat, and tears in it, that we develop to accompany the flavor. And you won't find many brands of any type of product that are pairing products within their product line. So we like to look at ourselves as a experience brand. We also coined the phrase the after dinner experience, and that's where our coffee actually makes phenomenal espresso. So you have a nice meal, you ease or digest your stomach with a nice cup of Marco V espresso, and then you grab your cigar and your port and you head to the deck. And that's what we coin as the after dinner experience. And so we like exercising that quite a bit. It's a lot of fun.
Have you ever thought about getting the spirits yourself?
Yeah, we actually were in communications with single malt Scotch distiller out in Scotland, very boutique. We've ran into some issues with the supply chain of how to get it over here, but we're still working on that. And then also we have in the works, but very preliminary, Marco V rum as well that would be paired with our Brazilian Grand Reserve too. Again, very preliminary. We're still trying to work out the details with that. But again, it would be something that would take time to develop to match the flavor complex of enjoying it with a cigar. Also, all of our products are really good by themselves as well.
Yeah.
So 2011 was a very eventful year for you and your company. You are now in over 140 retailers.
Yep.
And you opened up this lounge, and I attended that event, which was a
That's right.
very good event.
Thank you.
You also grew over 75% over the previous year.
Right.
What do you attribute this success to?
Well, with this was our third year of business, and we did have a good 2011. When you look at attributing the success, everything's a work in progress for us. Like I said, we're a word-of-mouth brand. We want to get the cigar in the hand of the people and let them talk about it if they like it. And it's also a chance for us to get feedback on the cigar as well. We were able to build a huge foundation here in Minnesota by sitting down with people and introducing them to the product, and then getting the retailers on board, establishing relationships with the retailers. And you'll also see now we're in 18 states as well. And with any cigar brand, any retailer can sell a cigar once. They can tell anybody that's a great cigar, but it's the cigar that keeps them coming back. So for us, we feel like if we can put the cigar in the retailer's hand and have them sell that once, then the cigar is what keeps people coming back. Again, hoping that they recognize the quality and the value in our product, and the unique blends that comes them back to buy it again. So we attribute the cigar doing a lot of the work for us. And then we also have a very good national sales manager that's also trying to establish those relationships. We're big on relationships, trying to establish relationships with retailers to have them take on our product.
Sounds like a good plan.
All right. Could you tell us a little bit about the new Marco V Enfuse you've been working on?
Right, absolutely. That's been a fun project as of late. What we've done with that is we've looked at our whole product portfolio. So we have the premium cigar line, and we have the vintage Porto 2007, and then we have our Dom Cafe that's paired with our Dom Grand Reserve cigar. And so what we did with the Infuse is just like the brand says, is we are fusing the products together. So we're taking our premium cigars and fusing them with the port, taking our cigars, fusing it with the coffee, and it's turned out to be a really nice product. It's not gonna, it's different than, we don't like to call it a flavored cigar because we're actually infusing the flavors into the cigars. So it's a proprietary way that we figured out how to do it. It's something new and different to the market. We hope you guys enjoy it, but that'll be coming in early Q1.
All right. And in addition to that, you will be introducing the Vintage X, the first one being the 1812 Solomon size.
Right.
What can you tell us about this new lineup?
Being that we like to look at ourselves as the industry specialists in large gauge cigars, because that's what our origins were, that's the cigar that I like smoking the best, we wanted to introduce to the market a truly premium, super premium brand in the large gauge niche, because that's the void that we're filling in a lot of humidors. So a lot of retailers outside of Minnesota recognize that there's a void in large gauge cigars. Big companies are moving away from it because you got to use more tobacco in the large gauge cigars. And then if you use your premium tobacco, you end up having to charge more for it. So some companies will use lesser grade tobacco in their large gauge cigars. And then it's sometimes harder to control the quality. So that's the void that we're trying to fill. So that's why you're not always able to find a lot of really good high-end, or even for that matter, large gauge cigars. So we're closing that gap on the super premium end with the Vintage X, and we'll be introducing big cigars that have impeccable tobacco, super aged. In the Solomon size, our first one is essentially a Fabuloso size, but a 60 ring gauge by 8 inches. So it's a big couple hours cigar that you can sit down and really enjoy. But it'll be incredibly limited, and each box will come with a certificate of authenticity, and it'll be a fun product. And we're aging the tobacco as we speak.
Very good.
Looking forward to that. We hear you're planning on opening up 2 more Marco V lounges like this. Could you give us any idea where they're going to be located, if they're going to be like the one we're sitting in now or not?
Right. I can tell you a little bit about it. One will be in Minnesota, and it'll be at what I can tell you is it'll be at a premium restaurant/bar on their patio. And it'll be an outdoor setting. It'll be a Marco V cigar lounge in an outdoor setting over with a really nice view. That's what I can tell you on that one. More information will come out in the first half of of 2012. The second one will be in Marco Island, Florida, and we're trying to finish the details on that one as well. But we like Marco Island, because it has our name and it's a beautiful location as well. So more details will follow on that one as well.
Very nice. So the cigar culture, what does that mean to you, and what do you like best about the cigar world?
Yeah, for me, cigar smoking again isn't about satisfying the craving or an urge. It's doing exactly what we're doing right here, sitting, smoking cigars, talking about life, talking about whatever. To me, it's the art of watching someone make a cigar. It's the art of knowing someone put time into making this cigar, and sitting around and enjoying it in that respect. I'm not going to ever bring to the market a cigar that's going to blow your head off, or any other cigar that's super gimmicky. It's more about just providing a nice cigar in your hands that'll enable a nice conversation. So to me, that's what the cigar culture is about. It's about the art, it's about the passion, it's about sitting around, it's about the community.
Nice. Well, once again, we'd like to thank you for coming and sitting down with us.
Absolutely, appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.